What's your problem, man? If that was like sentiment that was encouraged for people to have, then maybe somebody wouldn't get dogpiled if you call them a dumb bitch. So I'm not gonna be able to draw like a perfect through line for these
yeah,
things.
no, I know, but I don't think, like I said earlier, I think every single online community is prone to dogpiling just because they're large online communities, like full stop.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel okay. So that sounds like you're not interested. I feel like we're back to then you don't think it's worth hearing what I think you're doing to contribute to dogpiling.
What were the things that I was doing that contributed to dogpiling?
Making your content, mocking people and talking shit about them.
So now you want me
That's
to
one
change.
thing.
So now you want me to change my content. That's the main complaint, or one of the big complaints.
I don't have a main complaint. You keep trying to boil. This is a complex situation with a lot of nuanced points I'm trying to make. You keep trying to boil everything I say down to one stupid argument that I'm not making. I'm just pointing out that when you say, well, I do everything to curb misogyny, and I'm doing stuff to curb misogyny in my community, and I'm like, well, you haven't really. Whenever it's brought up that you screamed at Lav that she's a dumb bitch, you just defend it. So yeah, you can outlaw.
No, hold on. Okay, if anything associated with Lab was increased misogyny, it was having her on my stream. I wasn't calling her dumb bitch one time. I know that's like the narrative that you guys have like super like enjoyed like running into, but that is absolutely not the case.
Am I allowed to? Okay, can I finish a thought?
Yeah, go for it. But you brought this up like 3 times. I know you keep trying to edge it in there, but go ahead.
Okay. Bringing Lav on my stream increases misogyny. Do you see how this is in itself a anti-woman misogynistic statement?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you have just made a misogynistic statement in a conversation about how you decrease misogyny. Do you
saying
see
that
how...
calling somebody a dumb bitch increases misogyny is also a misogynistic statement. You should be able to call somebody a dumb bitch without increasing misogyny. Like,
I don't agree with that.
So
but I would.
Would you never call a woman a?
Can I finish? Can I finish?
My bad. I'm sorry.
Can I finish a
go
thought?
ahead. Yeah, go. You finished plenty of thoughts. So go ahead. Keep going.
I would never call a woman a dumb bitch and then argue that I didn't increase misogyny in my audience after doing it. No. Like when I screamed at Lav to shut the fuck up over and over again, that was me increasing misogyny in my argument in my audience, for sure.
Okay.
Okay. So, now that we've dealt with your hypocrisy claim, I would like to finish what I'm fucking saying, which was bringing Lav on increases misogyny in itself is actually a more vicious, underhanded, misogynistic statement than calling her a dumb bitch. It is actually more misogynistic to say just Lav's presence on the stream at all, regardless of anything I do, will make people hate women. That is a extremely misogynistic thing to say.
Okay.
Okay. So while you can say you can brag that you've banned misogyny from your subreddit.
Hold on. You have to stop framing the world through like I'm not trying to brag that I'm banning misogyny. I don't care about
can
good
I finish?
boy.
Can I finish?
Okay.
You can put. Just push back on it afterward.
Gotcha.
Okay. You can defensively announce in an argument about how you run your subreddit that you have banned misogyny from your subreddit. But then, 5 minutes later, you are making a deeply misogynistic statement. This speaks to what I'm talking about overall. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm saying it's not really a sufficient pushback if I say there are underlying structural and systemic issues that are causing problems downstream that are making people's lives, including mine, shitty. And I want to address those. And then you come back with surface level responses and you say, well, no, we addressed that. We banned criticism after 3 days. The dog pile's only allowed to last 3 days. That doesn't really address what I'm saying. It's like you have a closet full of toxic waste, and then you're like, we've increased our like mopping schedule for the hallway outside the closet. Doesn't really address the problem that I'm talking about. But it appears to, but it doesn't.
Okay. I've never claimed that I'm addressing the specific problems that you're talking about, because I don't know if I am saying that I believe that there is a specific problem about what you're talking about. I'm just saying that if I do think there are problems, I do take steps to fix them, and I've given examples of that. None of the examples I gave were supposed to remedy the problems you're bringing me, because I don't know if I agree that those are problems. Okay, go ahead.
I thought one of the problems I brought up was dogpiling, and I thought you said hate or dogpiling posts, drama posts have to stop after 3 days. I thought that was in part to curb dogpiling.
Yes.
Okay, so that is an example of a problem I'm bringing up and a surface level solution that makes you appear to be addressing the problem, but there's all these other things you're doing that
It
are
is
perfectly
addressing the
setting-
problem.
Well, I don't think it is. I think
You
it is
don't think
addressing
the
it in a very-
3-day thing does anything?
I do. I think.
Okay, so then it
mopping up
is
the
addressing the
toxic waste-
problem. Hold on, because you use these.
So,
I don't know.
okay.
Wait, hold on. No,
When I
stop,
say
wait,
that-
wait,
when I
wait,
say
hold on,
the-
wait. You just talked so much. Let me just finish my one thought, okay? You use a lot of underhanded language to imply that there is some level of like malevolence or cold indifference. You're pretending to fix this, or you are getting points for trying. That's not what's happening. It is, by what you just said, it is doing something about it. It might not be enough, but it is doing something. Stop saying that you're like trying to be the good guy. I'm not trying to be. I don't give a fuck about being the good guy. Obviously, right? These are just things that I'm doing because they're promising. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Your problem with that is that it implies malevolent. Is it also that it's not true?
That what's not true?
That by saying, I've banned misogyny from my sub, you get to appear as somebody who is fighting misogyny in their subreddit.
I don't
but
care
then
about appearing as somebody who's fighting misogyny in my subreddit. I don't give a fuck about that.
even if you don't care about that, do you see why I'm saying it makes you appear that way?
I don't want it brought up in a conversation because it makes it feel like I'm fighting like a weirdo. I don't know what I'm. No, it's not relevant to what we're
Maybe
talking
you
about.
are.
It's you're loading the conversation in an incredibly strange way to make it sound like I'm going for good boy points in my moderation style. Like if you want to do that, I can.
Okay. I think you're going for good boy points in your moderation style.
Okay, for who? And if that's the case,
audience.
this whole conversation then is a waste of time because then I've already demonstrated that I'm willing to lie because I'm completely not being forthcoming about my moderation choices, and I am totally just bending to the whims of my community for what I think they want to hear, and most of them seem okay with you being banned now. On what
I think
planet?
it's more complicated than that.
This is not complicated whatsoever. If somebody's doing something,
You were
to win,
trying. Yes, you often do this.
And I
You were
back it
trying to
up
take
into the
something
corner
complicated
like
I'm
this.
saying
And we're having some people who were trying to do a car runs were having trouble killing Spider. I use Carnage for this one, and I back it up into the corner like this. And I have my full avoidance set. I'm avoidance capped here. It doesn't matter if these spiders enrage, they can't hit me. And because I'm backed up into the corner, they can't get behind me. If you position differently and like you allow the spiders to get behind you, then you can't dodge their attacks from behind, and then they will kill you. But here I can just ignore them and tunnel the boss, do as much damage to the boss as I possibly can. And the spiders will eventually die to my Blade Flurry and my Main Gouge Cleave and my Crimson Tempests and stuff like that. No, this is, we got Clobber Club on. We got the Veiled Shadows 3-piece set on. We have 4-piece Death Dealer. We got the Veiled Shadows 3-piece set on. We have 4-piece Death Dealer. That's like your most important one when you're soloing stuff. It provides your healing through Sinister Strike of Sinister dealt by. Soloing a car, you first take out the spider boss. When you take out the spider boss, it makes it so Hakar no longer summons spiders. Wait, oh, double mace rune. I am said double mace. I thought you meant I was like doing 2 mace weapons at the same time.
Let's just eat up so we're max out, and I also need poison on offhand. Yeah, let's pop poison. I need sebaceous poison for the armor reduction. Hopefully I don't pull more guard or pull more mobs. We need to kill this guy because he's gonna stand more. Yeah, let's pop poison. I need sebaceous poison for the armor reduction. Hopefully I don't pull more guard or pull more mobs. We need to kill this guy because he's gonna stand back and cast. So I'm gonna pop evasion and pull. I'm turning my because he's gonna stand back more guard or pull more mobs. We need to kill this guy because he's gonna stand back and cast. So I'm gonna pop evasion and pull. I'm turning my back to the boss now, which is a terrible idea. Okay, let's see. Can we get into the corner here? So my camera's gonna be kind of scuffed. So we're gonna do like this, I think. And we need to watch out for one specific poison attack that it does. Because you can see right now, these guys are not hitting me. And my evasion is gone, by the way. But there's one specific poison that can really fuck us over.
Conversation that is a waste of time, because then I've already demonstrated that I'm willing to lie, because I'm completely not being forthcoming about my moderation choices, and I am totally just bending to the whims of my community for what I think they want to hear, and most of them seem okay with you being banned now. On what
I think
planet?
it's more complicated than that.
This is not complicated whatsoever. If somebody's doing something,
You're
to
trying. Yes, you often do this. You are trying to take something complicated, I'm saying, and boil it down to something that sounds stupid and is simple. But you benefit greatly in this conversation if I say, listen, there's a lot of really subtle, insidious things that you're doing that are kind of hard to explain and hard to wrap your mind around. But if you would think about it, I think I can probably draw some pretty compelling parallels here between things, or not parallels, but some downstream effects from things you're doing, and then the outcomes that we're seeing. And then you're like, no, this is totally simple. When did I say X, Y? What did I do? Well, give me an example.
I don't like this because this is a bullshit way of conversation. You're trying to imply that there's something very complicated or subtle going on under the hood that's just only very special people could possibly understand. No, you're not. You're saying it's too subtle or whatever. Like, I can explain everything that we've talked about so far if you want me. I can explain any point of view of this. Nothing is very complicated we're talking about. Nothing of this is is very complicated. Like what aspect of this conversation is complicated?
Well, I think that you are oversimplifying my criticism of you here. I'm not saying that you are thinking, I want to get good boy points with my audience, so therefore I'm going to say I banned misogyny.
I'm just so stupid and simple-minded that if that's happening, I wouldn't be able to see that that's a driving force behind what I'm doing?
No,
because that's the only alternative. Okay, what is it then?
No, it's not. It's more complicated than that.
Okay, so explain to me the approval winning that I'm going for.
I think it makes your community look bad if it's a cesspool of misogyny. I think that curbing that both makes your community look less toxic and woman-hating, and it has less negative effect on the women that you want to interact with or the women you do interact with. I think you feel bad about some of the horrible shit your community says about women, and I think you probably want to be able to work with women, and I think you also want to be able to work with other larger figures who don't want to collaborate with somebody who hits their wife. No, so don't want to collaborate with somebody who is the head of a toxic woman-hating community. So it's not just like brownie points. It's a complex system of relationships, and it clearly hurts you and hurts other people if your audience hates women.
Gotcha. I don't agree with any of that. I don't think that there's ever been an opportunity that I've lost out on because of stuff related to women. This whole space is insanely male-dominated. It's very easy to get away with these types of jokes over and over again and have really nobody push back on you whatsoever. I just completely totally disagree.
So then why did you ban misogyny?
Because I think that there should be more women on stream, because I think that it is a better community, and I think it represents my values more to not be misogynistic. But my community...
So when you say, wait, I just said there's women you want to work with who would be probably hesitant to work with you if there's misogyny in your community, and then you said that's not true, and then I asked you why you did it.
Stop. When I say women, no. When I say women to come on stream, I mean like friends I have that I know would be like cool additions to the stream, or people that I know personally, not large female creators that I want to work with. Large female creators, a lot of them are self-hating women. I don't need to make my community appease women to get so hold on, no, don't just hand wave that, because you're trying to make it sound like I misspoke or I was hypocritical or I missed something. No, stop. Hold on, let me finish this. When you said
it doesn't matter.
It super matters, because you're no, hold on. I'm gonna finish. No, it's not the same thing, because you keep implying that I'm either too stupid or I'm subtly manipulative in a way that I'm not being honest about or forthcoming, because either I don't understand it or I'm trying to hide it about the goals that I have with my community. And now you've attempted to point out, oh, hold on, I imply that you wanted to work with some people, especially women, and now you are accidentally admitting that there are women that you want to work with. Those were two totally different statements. When you said it, you're implying that I want to have XXX Sniper, Wolf, or SS, whatever the fuck on my stream, so I can build my community for bigger women. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are women that I know personally that would be cool to have on stream, and there are other friends that I could have on stream, but they don't want to come because the community is heavily misogynistic. These are two far different things. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't think the distinction matters that much. It's fine if you want to correct it, and
That's fine. I just wanted to state the distinction. If you don't think it matters, that's fine. But okay, I just wanted it to be.
I don't think it matters because my point stands that you are doing something surface level to address misogyny by making it so that the misogynistic things your audience wants to say or that they say are not said, instead of making them want to say them.
Okay,
So,
I think that part of that is literally just cutting down on certain jokes. I think it's as simple as that.
I understand that, and that might be part of it. That might be true. But I'm not calling you stupid, and I'm
just saying it's more complicated than that, and I just can't understand. I wish I could.
No, you can understand. I believe that you are not allowing me to explain myself because you don't want to understand, or you don't want the audience to understand, or you're too guarded or something. I don't know why the fuck you're doing it, but I'm trying to explain something to you it's not that complicated. I'm just saying it's more complicated than you're trying to get brownie points.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think banning mentions of misogyny or misogynistic jokes really addresses the misogyny problem. I think it addresses it on a surface level.
True.
So when I say you get to be the good guy, I'm referring to a pattern that I am seeing where you're like, no, we don't allow dog piles past 3 days. While on the other hand, you are actively making moderating decisions that cause them.
Okay.
You get to ban misogyny, but you're actually actively saying horrible things about women that increase misogyny. But it's subtle.
I think we've cut out on most of that.
You just did it. You just said bringing Lav on stream increases misogyny. That's a misogynistic statement.
No, it's not. I don't think that's necessarily misogynistic. It speaks to the misogyny that exists. If you have a community of people that, for whatever reason, don't like women, and you bring on a woman that exemplifies the issues for why a lot of people don't like women, then of course it's going to increase misogyny in a crowd. But that's not because that statement in and of itself is a misogynistic statement. It's a statement that's recognizing the reality of the misogyny that exists in that community, which is part of the misogyny they want to get rid of.
Okay, I guess I just think that that's really misogynistic to say.
How is it, if a black person does something bad, it tends to reflect poorly on all black people? Is that a racist statement, or is that a statement that acknowledges racism?
No, it's racist when you apply it to an individual and you say, I'm not going to have my black friend Eric on stream because Eric exemplifies the things that people hate about black people.
If I thought that I had a community that would, let's say that I wanted to go and debate Nick Fuentes, and I could bring one black partner with me to that debate, and I could choose to either bring ABBA, or I could bring insert the most thuggish gangster black person you could possibly imagine.
Do you see, you have a hesitancy about naming a specific black person.
Because I don't know very many thug black people. That's why I just don't know. I don't know. It could be Speed the streamer or one of the people that scream all the time and say the N-word a lot on stream. I don't know any one of those guys. I don't know very many black people that are gangsters, okay? It could be a famous rapper, I don't know if Tyler the Creator's like that. I don't know, somebody that, Ice Cube, okay? There, Ice Cube. Or ABBA. Ice Cube is a well-spoken dude and is pretty chill now. I don't know. Pick any person that you want there, okay? But the reality would be, I would say, I would probably pick the guy